Good afternoon and welcome to United MUFON. I'm Terry Lynn Keel. I'm glad you could join me today. It feels as if I haven't been on the show now for so long, but it's just only been a month. I've actually been in Washington, D.C. last month with the MUFON Board of Directors, and we had a wonderful and very fulfilling time there. MUFON has seen some amazing advances this year with MUFON University. We now have a new platform that we've added along with CMS form upgrades like photo and video and flight and radar analysis, as well as astronomic bodies and satellites and so many more things. We think you're going to love it and you'll love all the new changes, and we're really looking forward to hearing a lot of positive feedback about it. So, along with some new and much needed criteria advancements, our research and investigation technology, as well as the MUFON lab, has been relocated and upgraded. But the most exciting project of this year is that MUFON is being recognized by the United States government as a leader in all UFO and UAP investigations. MUFON has been nominated to be the civilian component of the currently developing UAP panel. This nomination is totally bipartisan and has been introduced in both the House and the Senate. We're all really elated here at MUFON and very proud of all that our volunteers have helped with us to reach all these new heights. It's just been great. And as we continue to be the gold standard in ufology, we will continue to be all that you expect us to be. So much was accomplished for the future of ufology and MUFON as we met and spoke with many different congressmen in Washington. It was an exciting and productive time. We had dinners and were able to speak with many people interested in ufology that are involved in our government at an open reception at the Capitol Hill Club. That was so much fun. We very much enjoyed our beautiful historic hotel as well, along with the many DC area sites that we visited. It was really all just an amazing time and a real benefit for MUFON. Well, anyway, that was a lot to share. And there's still more. But now I have an exciting day planned for us. I have Stacey Wright joining us from Arizona MUFON, and she'll be sharing all she does there in Arizona, which, believe me, is no small thing. Stacey is one of MUFON's most busy and dedicated women, and we'll hear all about all she does in just a few minutes. But first, I want to mention that MUFON's Observer Network is now up and running, and it has exceeded all of our expectations. Literally, really, it has. If you haven't joined yet, please do. Our Observers Network, just log on to it at MUFONOBM.net. We're so proud of all the new features, and everyone is loving it. We have heard nothing but good about this app, and we're so very proud of it. So it was a dream come true for us. So please log on today if you haven't already. And also to mention is the MUFON Ancient Aliens airing, which has been beyond what we could have hoped for. This is all so exciting. MUFON is strong and moving forward, and really becoming a household name. That's what I've wanted since the beginning of 2008, actually, when we first got involved with MUFON, is to make this what it should be. And it is all coming to fruition now. So, along with all this updating, you may be wondering, what's MUFON all about if you've never heard about us before? Well, let me share with you. MUFON is the Mutual UFO Network, and who we are is we're the largest and oldest UFO investigative organization in the world, and we've got a huge member base adding to it daily, and we're represented in all 50 states and 40 countries with thousands of trained, volunteered, certified field investigators. That's right, they're certified. And we've got over 50 PhD consultants in most disciplines. MUFON actually does conduct a very scientific investigation of the UFO phenomenon, while others are all just UFO reporting agencies. We were established in '69, and for the past 53 years, MUFON has compiled a database of over 195,000 UFO reports. Our CMS, or the Case Management System, was developed in 2006. And it has just been an amazing, wonderful CMS for us here. We're able to keep so many stats and different things right at our fingertips. And as MUFON has evolved, we now monitor abductions and also entity cases. So if you've got something to share, we hope that you will. Now, how do we investigate, you might wonder? What is MUFON's investigations all about? Well, we do use computer sciences, biology, astronomy, physics, chemistry, geology, engineering, and stats. This is what compiles the scientific method. And so we've got a mission statement here as well, and these are the words that inspire each and every one of us every day. We investigate UFO sightings, abductions, and entity cases, and we promote research of UFOs, always with an eye towards science. We educate the public on the UFO phenomenon. That's who we are. We've got a board of directors, and our executive director is David McDonald, who is doing a marvelous job guiding MUFON into the 21st century. I am also on as a director, board director and director of memberships, and Barbara Schuessler-Sobani is our MUFON journal editor. Debbie Zegelmeyer is the Missouri State Director. Rob Swiatek is our physicist. Richard Beckwith is one of our he's a state director for Wyoming, and is a state director for Wyoming and I guess I said that twice. Well, see, live times, anything crazy can happen. But also we have Sandy Clevin, and she is our physicist. She's a psychologist. Oh my gosh, this is too funny. First time ever on that. So anyway, of all of our UFO reports that we receive here at MUFON, approximately 15% of those are actually real. The others are misidentifications, optical illusions, stars, planets, hoaxes, and sometimes hallucinations. But what about those other remaining 15%? You know, that is what originally brought me to MUFON, and that's the reason for MUFON's existence. You are not alone, and we do want to hear your story or anything that you have experienced. So please just log on to MUFON.com and report your experience there to us. Someone will get in touch with you right straight away. We also have an experiencers resource team. It's called the ERT, and they are dedicated to helping experiencers of alien contacts. Currently, our director is Dr. George Medich. So if you have had something, and you know, regardless of how bizarre it might seem, please contact us. We keep everything confidential, and we are here to help you. Just go to MUFON.com and look up the Experiencer questionnaire form at experiencer-questionnaire.html. Some MUFON business that we've got going. I would like to ask you to please continue to support Project Aquarius. Project Aquarius is the reaching out to other organizations to join with MUFON in the development of the largest repository of translatable and accessible UAP data in the world. So just log on to MUFON.com and you can support us there. Thank you. And what's coming to us in 2023 is our MUFON Symposium in Cincinnati. So if you haven't registered yet, registration is now open. You can register at MUFON.com. And it's here. We've got a little bit of information. We don't have all of our speakers up yet, but that will be forthcoming. The name of it is Friend or Foe. I will be one of your speakers this year. And I'll be talking about my alien healing that happened. And I hope that you can make that. Pretty sure it'll be on Sunday, so I hope you can make that. Also, our call for submissions. We would like for you to contact us if you have something you'd like to share with us about on the MUFON Journal. And who we're asking, any MUFON field investigators, any directors or international directors, and any and all of our members. We really like to hear from you if you've got something that you would like to share. So what are we asking you to share? Well, we're calling for submissions about any case analyses, research, or sightings, or any related phenomenon. So who would you contact? Please contact Barbara Sobani, who is MUFON's journal editor at journaleditor@mufon.com. And thank you. We look forward to hearing from you. We also would like to bring notice to you about our official MUFON podcast, which is with Richard Beckwith. He always has something new and exciting that he shares. So please join the official MUFON podcast. And if you hadn't joined MUFON yet, please join MUFON. Our members receive either an electronic or a hard copy monthly journal. We have so much in those journals, not just our symposiums and different articles, but articles by leading ufologists and UFO sighting reports, abduction cases, mutilations, crop circles, one-on-ones, all different types of investigations, and lots of pictures on what are submitted. So please log on to MUFON.com and join us today. And if you've already joined us and would like to upgrade to the MUFON TV, Ron James, who is our media director, is in charge of MUFON TV, and it's only $119.88 for a whole year or $9.99 a month to upgrade. So please do so. We'd love to have you join us on that. There's so much to offer at MUFON. And if you'd like to become a field investigator, you can simply do that by logging on to MUFON.com and click Join or Become a Field Investigator. It's all very simple and just a click away. Now available at the MUFON store, I'm so happy to say, are the I Know t-shirts that I was selling from Florida when I was the state director there and the assistant state director and many other titles there. And I hope that you'll log on to MUFON.com and get one of those shirts. I love those shirts. We also have so much more at the MUFON store. Go online, MUFON.com, and go to our online store. And we would like to ask that you tune in every Saturday at the fourth Saturday of the month. Every month on the fourth Saturday, there you go, I kind of said it backwards, for United MUFON. And if you'd like to see who's coming up, I have a whole list of people that will be speaking. Next month we'll have Jeremy Ray, and we always have a speaker and then a little bit about what we're doing at our MUFON meetings here. So just go to MUFONmeetings.com and you can get all the newer information about what we're doing. And like I said, next month, March 25th at 2 p.m. Central Time, we'll have Jeremy Ray. He's MUFON Colorado's chief investigator. He's been on the History Channel and Hangar One, and I really look forward to having him on as well next month. So join us again next month. Now, what you've all been waiting for. This is really going to be fun. Stacey Wright, who is the state director for MUFON Arizona. I just want to read a little bit of a bio about her. Stacey is the state director for Arizona MUFON and also the director of Phoenix MUFON. Stacey is a certified field investigator and STAR team member, and over the past 16 years has helped to build the Phoenix MUFON chapter from the ground up. And believe me, I've done that. That is no small thing. Stacey has worked as team leader on Roswell archaeological digs with Don Schmidt and has helped design and produce the Phoenix Lights exhibit for the Arizona Historical Society Museum. And she is the organizer of MUFON's annual Field Investigator Boot Camp. which has been held in Mesa, Arizona for the past 5 years, and she has done a phenomenal job. The boot camp is a weekend of concentrated instruction on the protocols of completing a quality investigation of a UFO-related event. Stacey has a true passion for all of this and investigating and appreciating numerous mysteries, whether they be archaeological, interdimensional, or celestial. She has enjoyed working 27 years for the public school system, and she's raised 2 amazing children and 4 amazing grandchildren. So please join me in welcoming Stacey Wright to United MUFON. Welcome, Stacey.
Thank you so much. Nice to be here.
Yes, it's nice to have you here. So tell us how you got involved and what initially brought you to MUFON.
Well, I did not have an experience or a sighting that got me interested in it. I've just always been interested in basically astronomy to begin with. And I grew up with the same shows on TV that we all did, you know, watching Star Trek or the Jetsons or something like that. So there was a little bit of spacey stuff, you know, going around. So of course the stars always seemed very interesting to me as a kid. I went to college specifically to take astronomy courses, and that's really where my interest was lying at the time. I started reading a couple of books just about 15 or 16 years ago. I think the first one I ever read was Alien Agenda by Jim Mars.
Oh, that's a good one.
And then a couple of Graham Hancock books, which just totally blew my mind. So the interest just grabbed me there, and I just really couldn't find enough time in the day to read or do enough research to look into this subject. So then I thought, well, you know, this world-class city of Phoenix here, they've got to have some kind of a UFO meeting. You know, there's got to be something here with the Phoenix lights and everything that happened. So I went looking around and found this funny sounding group called MUFON. So I wrote into MUFON and I said, hey, you know, is there some kind of meetings here in the Phoenix area? And I didn't know who I was writing to, but realized later it was the executive director of MUFON that I had written to. Oh. And so he said to me, well, yeah, you know, it's kind of lain dormant for a while. We don't really know why, but let's see what we can do about that. So about 2 weeks later, behold, there was a MUFON meeting in Phoenix, and they were looking for people to help take it over. So I raised my hand, and it just kind of all started in 2007, and here we are.
That is amazing. So you came in from a different perspective than most, and not having had an experience. Have you had one since you've been a part of MUFON?
Well, I've seen a UFO, I'd say probably 4 or 5 times. I think 3 of the reports that I wrote into MUFON were unknowns. Mm-hmm. So it's been pretty exciting looking at, you know, everything that comes across the board. I mean, the sightings that we get are just really varied.
Was that
there's a little bit of everything out there. So it's really fun to see something of your own once in a while. Yeah.
Yeah, it sure is. Was that in Mesa that you saw that, or was it somewhere else?
Yeah, I live here in Gilbert, Arizona, which is right next door to Mesa. We're all suburbs of, you know, Phoenix.
Right.
Yeah, I saw something that was very Phoenix Lights-like. My daughter was with me at the time, so we saw that sighting, watched it for 5, 6, 7 minutes or so, and, you know, that kind of blew me away just a little bit. And then I'm kind of a light sleeper, so every once in a while I'll go out in the backyard and just kind of look around in the sky, and saw something up there once, which was very anomalous. So of course I thought, well, yeah, let's report this into MUFON and see what we can do with it. So yeah, it's kind of fun to have that and see it from the other side of the computer screen.
It really is. It's very interesting when you experience your own. What did your daughter think about it? Was she a believer, or was she somebody who didn't believe it? And about how old was she?
She was probably 15 or so. So she wasn't really a believer, and she thought I was just some kind of a nut, you know, because I was looking into the subject. So we had a lot of fun with that. Both my kids, you know, had a lot of fun with, you know, teasing mom about stuff. Yeah. They don't anymore, but yeah, back then they did. So, you know, we sat there and watched this sighting for, you know, like I said, up to about 7 minutes or so, and a couple other cars pulled off the road and watched it with us. Oh. So it was, you know, a multiple witness sighting, really.
What kind of a UFO were you looking at? What exactly?
Well, lights that had lined up in the sky,
Okay.
kind of at an angle, but had, 3 or 4 or 5 lights to it, similar to what people, see and the Phoenix lights as well.
Oh,
So
nice.
we just kind of watched that, and it was a direction where I knew there wasn't the Barry Goldwater range. They weren't setting off flares over there. It was an area that didn't have anything to it. And so it was really, quite exciting to just sit there and watch that and wonder. And then the lights kind of faded out, and we just sat there and looked at each other and, shrugged our shoulders and went on about our business.
Yeah, I mean, you wonder what can you do once something like that does happen, it's interesting to go through that process yourself. I think as a field investigator, it validates for you that what you're doing is helping somebody to deal with this bizarre thing that has just happened to them, and now you actually understand that. That is, I think it's really valuable for the field investigator to have had an experience. Not that it's necessary, but it is a very valuable lesson because you're not on the outside looking in. You're on the inside and you understand.
Yeah, it kind of refreshes you just a little bit,
It does.
and you got that split second of, oh my God, excitement going on. And then your training kicks in just a little bit.
Yeah.
And you know what to do at that point. You know how to be a trained observer and what to grab quickly. Most people don't have that, information. So they forget their phone. They forget their binoculars. They forget to maybe gauge distance or size or anything along with something else in the sky. So yeah, It helps. It helps to have the training.
Have you ever connected with Dr. Lynn Katai, who isn't too far from you, right? Because she is in Arizona as well, right?
And no, we're real good colleagues here. So we see each other often. And right now she's actually gearing up for the 26th anniversary of the Phoenix Lights event. And she holds a big showing of her film and lots of guest speakers down there at one of the big theaters here in town. So she's gearing up for that. I believe it's going to be Sunday, March 19th this year. And it's a really big, fun event.
Yes.
So yeah,
absolutely.
she's we have her up on our stage, giving announcements at our Phoenix MUFON meetings just to get everyone, ready for it and informed that it's coming up.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. I assumed you guys were. I mean, I think that's awesome. I think we talked earlier just a little bit that I actually grew up very shortly in Arizona. I was in Phoenix and was sharing with you that I went to Moon Valley High School. And I was there maybe 6 months, not more. But in the time that I was there, I had met a few people and stayed in touch with a few people, and the Phoenix Lights came out and all of that. And people swear, I know that the Phoenix Lights had a lot of negativity around it. Oh, it was this, it was that, blah, blah, blah. And we know it was absolutely UFOs. That was something very profound. And it inspired a lot of people to come to MUFON, actually. A couple of friends of mine that did, actually. And so I just think it's exciting. Arizona is a place where I'm shocked you don't have sightings on a daily basis. I mean, there's so much going on over there. And, I don't know how many
we
cases.
Almost do. I mean, we average about 300 sightings a year here just in Arizona. Yeah. So it's almost on a daily basis. We get a lot of stuff going on here.
Yeah, it is. And I saw just recently that you've just added a couple chapters to the Arizona MUFON. You've got one in Sedona, which is run by Jennifer Stein. Love that girl. And Karen Hill in Tucson. I don't know Karen, but I'm sure she's wonderful.
Yes, she will be. Yes.
So you've got how many different chapters do you have in Arizona right now?
Well, we've just got those 3, and Sedona MUFON and Tucson MUFON have been, available to people in the past, but we've been without a leader in both of those groups for about a year and a half.
Yeah, we
COVID really kind of did a number on the whole state. So Phoenix MUFON was the only thing going for a while, but now we've got some really strong directors that are going to help us out, and we're hoping to get people from all corners of the state able to go to a meeting when they want to. Yeah,
that's great, and thank you for hanging in there. Those were hard times. That was very difficult, going through the 3 years of COVID or the 2 really hard years.
It was weird. We had been having meetings monthly since 2007 without skipping a beat. We
Yeah,
have
yes.
an in-person meeting every month. And so then
Right.
to shut down for a year and a half during COVID was really strange. Although we did start up the Phoenix MUFON lecture series online,
Yeah.
that people could watch. But it's really great to be back in action again now. Yeah.
Yes, I know. And it is true. So many people did come and start podcasts and different things because of COVID that probably wouldn't have happened had we not all been forced to be separated
Right.
for so long. And so a lot of good sprung from it, but it was very difficult. And I'm very grateful that you hung in there, because everybody talks about what a great job you're doing. And I just can't say bravo enough to you. I am very impressed with what you do there. And then the boot camp, let's talk about that boot camp, because that's something, what's involved with all of that. And
It's
tell me a
fun.
little bit
We have
about
a
it.
great time doing that.
Yeah.
We just, decided to start this up because there were so many people interested, and, this area has such great weather.
Yes.
And we thought, well, nothing else is really happening in November around here. Let's have this boot camp, and let's, try to get some people interested in becoming a certified field investigator. So we just, Phoenix MUFON just started this up, and we had a lot of people. We've got a really talented group here. They have a lot of skill.
Yes.
So we just kind of built this in-house, and we have some speakers that are our local people from our Phoenix MUFON group. And then we bring in Mark D'Antonio as our photo analysis. He does this for MUFON. He's the chief photo analyst for MUFON. So he comes out and helps us with that every year.
Yes.
And then Katie Page, the Colorado State Director, she comes in and gives a really great talk at our boot camp too. So we open this up to just 40 participants every year, which is a really manageable amount of people. And we have a really nice hotel that we have it at that has the meeting rooms and great, rooms for the people too. And it's close from the airport to fly in. And it's really, we tried to keep it at a very reasonable price. So it's only $150 for people
that is
to come in
good.
and do this. And we supply them with, 2 days of classroom experience, 2 afternoons of forensic field work out in the desert. We have a desert cookout dinner one night, followed by a big sky watch, which is Mark D'Antonio following up his earlier astronomy talk in the classroom. So we do that out there, and we just have a blast. Everyone becomes best friends. By the end of the weekend. These 40 people that have come from all over the world, not just the United States, but other countries as well, they're all best friends. They're exchanging email addresses, and they really have a good time learning out there. And it's just really fun. We've never had anything that has kept us like, bad weather or anything like that. So we've been really lucky. Knock on wood.
Yes.
And we're planning on doing that again this next November.
I know. I'm always so jealous. I see everybody together and I'm like, oh, I know what a party that is. I know how much fun it is to sit with people that are like-minded. What is your weather like there in November? Is it real hot still, or are you cold?
No, it's beautiful. It changes from hot, like November 1st, boom, it's perfection. So, we've got, I would say, mid 70s for a high.
Oh, wow.
And down into high 50s at night. So it's not too cold. It's just perfect. There's usually no rain. We have very little wind here anyway. So it's really nice. It's just the perfect weather. People can come and get a tan while they're also learning how to be a field investigator. And we actually have certified field investigators that come to this intensive training too. They're already doing their thing, but they want to, learn a few more techniques, a few other tips that people are doing things differently, but equally as well.
Yeah.
And then we have the newbies that come in too. They're all excited about this, and it doesn't actually turn you into a field investigator. You do not leave with your license to be a field investigator, but you've got the training, and then you go out and you take your exam, and then you become a field investigator. So it just gives them a little more training and a little more experience on what they might expect as a field investigator.
So there isn't any type of a form that they get at the end of it, or any...
Well, we do give them a certificate of completion.
Oh,
so
good.
They've completed the boot camp.
Okay.
So on our last night there, we have this big barbecue on the pool deck, and I'm the cook and the hostess for that. So everyone, gathers around, and we have, a lot of talk going on.
Oh.
And like I said, the email addresses are being exchanged, and we have a really nice meal together. And then we hand out certificates of completion at the end of the night. So everyone's happy and, really proud of the work that they have done.
Isn't that wonderful? Boy, that
It
is wonderful. And I know how much fun that is. You don't even want to leave. Everybody just wants to hang out.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like going to a symposium. You hate to leave,
Yeah.
So, well, I definitely want to be able to put up some information about that, and we will include that in United MUFON. I'd like to have you submit to me some form of a boot camp advertisement, and then I
will
can
certainly get you a flyer.
Yes, please do so, and I'll put that up every month on United MUFON, because I think there is nothing more valuable than not just making those friends, but that is valuable to have those friends within MUFON that you can call and ask questions, but just to have that experience and be out there and do what you do, it does deepen your knowledge and give you a better connection with what the big picture is all about. I have always wanted to do that. I've just always been so busy, and it's a time when I'm just not available in November, but I'm hoping one of these times I can just pop in there and be there with you.
We'd love to have you. Join us if you can.
I would love it. So, okay, and I'm not sure, but what all else is going on there in MUFON that you're doing. I know you're a teacher. Now, are you also doing some other teaching there in MUFON?
I'm actually not a teacher. I work for the public school system, but I work in the nurse's office at a really large high school.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got 3,400 students at this high school. So it is a busy office. We probably have between 70 and 80 patients a day in there. So super busy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is super busy. So you are very busy. I mean, you're still working and doing all of this.
Yeah.
That's
So
amazing.
I'm working full time, and then, my duties with MUFON, I love it. It's great stuff. But yeah, it's a good chunk of my day.
Oh, yeah.
Answering emails and trying to get prospective field investigators on their way to becoming certified.
Yeah.
And just planning fun things for Phoenix MUFON, because our chapter here is just really unique in that, people it's the people. It's not really anything that I've done. I was a newbie at this when I first started too, but there was just interested people here.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, if you build it, they will come.
Right.
So they did. And we've got a fantastic group of field investigators, as well as, anywhere between 100 and 200 attendees at our Phoenix MUFON meetings each month. And then we are lucky to have this great venue. So, and they actually came to us. They found us and asked us if we would like to come to their venue. And it's the Arizona Historical Society Museum. So for them to come to us was this great thing. It's like, really, you want us to come in? And they're like, yeah, we got this beautiful auditorium. We think you'll love it. Come and check it out. So,
oh my goodness, how
of course, we
wonderful.
loved it. And to have a place like this that is known historical facts in the museum, to welcome a UFO group in gave us a lot of credit.
Yeah.
And so after being there for maybe 6 or 8 months, they came and asked if we wanted to help them in being a partner in the exhibit upstairs on perhaps the Phoenix Lights. And so, I said, of course, we'll do that. So we used all of our people and funded it all from Phoenix MUFON, and then we just used their preparator at the museum to put it together. So it's really fun and great that they consider the Phoenix Lights event something that is factual history.
Right.
And it's a really fun exhibit. We've got the V-shaped craft hung from the ceiling with the lights on the bottom of it over the whole exhibit. And we've got a big monitor on the wall that you can play, the 911 calls. It's about a 7-minute looping video on that.
Wow.
We've got the timeline of the whole event across one big wall. And the museum tells us still that they get more positive feedback from that one exhibit than they do from anything else in the whole museum. And it's huge.
That's
So
amazing.
we're really proud of yeah, it's really fun. And the director of the museum is not a real believer in UFOs, but he sees what the people are coming out and what feedback they're giving.
Yeah.
And so he loves having us there too. So it's nice. It's really a great venue to have, this in, and it's a big stage, so we can have, just some really quality things there. The sound system is fantastic. And so we get some very high caliber speakers in, and they're super happy with the venue and the way that things go. And it's just been fun. Yeah.
Well, tell me, how have you seen what was up on Ancient Aliens with MUFON and all of our great speakers that were on? How have you seen that impact where you are? Are people asking questions? What's going on in Arizona?
Yes, I've gotten so many emails since that airing on February 10th.
Oh, good.
We actually had Ancient Aliens out filming with us at the boot camp this year for 3 days. So
awesome.
I had been filming with them a couple of weeks prior, and me and Shane Hurd, my assistant state director, and you saw a lot of him on the episode there.
Yes.
But we had been doing a lot of filming with the Ancient Aliens crew in Phoenix, just the one-on-one interviews. And then when they heard about the boot camp, they wanted to come out and film that. So of course it was another yes, of course. So you can actually see the film crew in that group picture that's on that episode on the far left-hand side with the cameras. Those are the 3 people from Ancient Aliens filming that, spent the whole weekend with us. And they had a really good time out there too. They joined us for the meals and everything. So
oh, that's awesome.
It was great to have them. But yeah, I think that the episode did a very positive work for MUFON.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
It was really well represented, and it showed all of the things that we do.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
most of them. We do a lot more than that, but it showed a lot of stuff that we do, and it put it in a very positive light and a very professional light. So yeah, I think that episode did great things for us, and we're looking forward to maybe some more things in upcoming episodes that'll feature MUFON as well.
Absolutely. That's definitely coming up. I was talking with another state director in Oklahoma, Mindy Toutfest, who is amazing. And she was saying that a lot of people want to become field investigators. Are you are you finding that there's a new influx?
Yeah, I think I've had 9 or 10 people write in and want to be a field investigator since they viewed that February 10th episode. Yeah.
I'm so glad to hear that. I am just absolutely elated to hear that, because we do need more field investigators. And I really think we need more chapters in the states. One as big as yours in California, Florida, who gets like 63 reports a month. And then another month will be 61, and then 58. I mean, that is a real huge, load to give to field investigators to work on. And a lot of times we have to involve CAG and different aspects of other investigators to help us out. So we do need as many new field investigators as we can, and hopefully,
I think my field investigators right now each have about 3 cases that they're doing, each one of them.
Yeah.
So we're loaded, just loaded, and I'm trying to get these prospective field investigators on board and get them trained, so we can relieve that load just a little bit. But I think it's going to happen because that episode on Ancient Aliens really boosted people's interest. I know we're going to be getting a lot more sightings in now too, because people are like, oh wow, remember 3 years ago what we saw? And so I'm getting a lot of historical sightings that are being sent in because people are aware that there's somewhere that they can report these sightings into now, and maybe have someone look into it. So and a lot of people just want to see if anyone else saw what they saw.
Right.
So, we get a lot of historical cases in, and then I think people are just looking up more now since seeing that episode. So they're seeing a lot of stuff, and they're reporting it in, and they're wanting to join the troop of field investigators as well.
Right. And in previous years, it was always kind of the same cases, just a little bit different each one. But now there's a myriad of cases that we're looking at. And you're right, people are looking up, they're starting to experience, even like you yourself did, many different things. I actually feel like the extraterrestrial species are reaching out to us much more recently, it seems like there's been more actual extraterrestrial sightings. There's been so much going on. Our ERT cases are just, it's off the charts. There is so much going on, and I think it's interesting. I don't know if it's just the times we're in, or we're all looking up now instead of down. For a while there, we weren't really paying much attention to it. It was a little bit of a giggle factor going on in ufology, but that day is done. There is really very little giggle factor anymore. People are talking about it.
We've morphed into the "I told you so" factor.
Yeah.
It just feels a little good to be able to say that to, family and friends that before have given me that look like, really, Stacey, really?
I know, isn't that the truth?
And now,
I know.
they email me as soon as they hear something that happened in their area. They're like, "Hey, did you hear about this? Can you tell me about this? What was that?" So I just kind of write back and I say, "Oh, so now you want to know a little more about it, do you? Hey,
all of a
let me
sudden.
tell you a little more." Yeah.
That is so true.
It's fun. Yeah.
It is fun. And, I had to put up with a lot of judgment and giggle factor for years. And it actually kept me from sharing any of my information for 29 years.
Does.
There was no way I was bringing it up.
It does, yes.
I know.
But now it's really gone mainstream now.
Yeah.
And if people are not aware of what has been in the news lately, what the military has released, what we're finding, then they're just not wanting to.
And accidental truth is coming out, and that, oh my goodness, so many really good things are now happening. All the conspiracy theorists are saying, uh-oh. I think they were right all along, and we were, and we are, and even our government is now coming alongside and agreeing, and they're all very much interested, because so many of even them have had experiences, and once you've had an experience, it does make a huge difference. And so I want to thank you for, sharing that bit of your story with us and your daughter. I think that's awesome. It just changes how we look at everything, our meetings, everything, because there's real purpose here. There's real purpose in what MUFON is doing. And I don't know what we would do without MUFON, so that we could reach out to each other, create these friendships, create this, this connection with people.
And I try to remind our people that we are a network.
Right.
We are a network. There will be no infighting. There will be no competition between someone else. Learn from that other person, but do not criticize them.
Right.
We are a network, and we're going to remain that way. And we're all going to find a piece of this puzzle together, because there are so many different areas where you can excel.
Yes.
Just do that and contribute. And let's make this network, something really positive. So, because it's only going to get bigger. It's only going to get better. Yes. And it's only going to become more mainstream. So
that's absolutely the truth. That's absolutely the truth. And I'm so grateful to have had you on and had this time to talk and go over all that you're doing. Stacey, thank you for being who you are. And, I do have to say that it takes someone with your determination and your skill set to be, such an awesome leader. And I am so grateful that you do all that you do. And you have inspired so many people. It's been nothing but positive that we've heard. And that means so much. It really does.
Well, thank you. I just have fun doing it, and we keep finding fun ways to make it fun for everyone and make it an enjoyable experience. I don't think I've heard of anyone in our group that has had a really bad experience. Sometimes it's not for them, or they might get too busy with family issues or with life in general. But I think all in all, everyone has a really positive experience and a really great learning experience with this. So we're just happy to do it, and we're just going to keep having fun with it.
Yes. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And so does MUFON. We all appreciate it very much. I know you have a busy afternoon and you wanted to get to something special today, so I don't want to hold you up, but I want to allow you to do that, because boy, it's hard with all that we do, to get everything done we need to get done.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
Yes. thank you for coming on, and we so look forward to hearing more from you in the future. And I hope we'll see you at the symposium in August. I hope you're going to be able to be there. Oh, good.
Yeah,
I hope so. Yeah, it's finally on this side of the world, you know. So
yeah,
for me,
on your side.
I can even drive. Imagine that, after all these years. But yeah, so thank you again. And if people want to reach out to you and even join on, anybody listening today that might be in Arizona, if they want to join you, where would they reach you?
They would just reach me at Stacey at phoenixmufon.com. So Stacey is STACEY at phoenixmufon, all spelled out, .com.
Okay, well, thank you.
And we have monthly meetings. We've got one coming up this next Saturday, March 4th, with James Keenan. And he's a great researcher. He'll be giving us some really good stuff. He does a lot of the research for Skinwalker Ranch and Blind Frog Ranch. And just different anomalies, and everything is UAP related, it seems like. So he's going to be giving us a big update on some information that no one has heard before.
Oh, wow.
And then I do want to tell everyone about our next month's meeting, April 15th. This is going to be a groundbreaking lecture that has never happened before. We have our Navajo Rangers here, John Dover and Stan Milford, who we have speak often, and they actually head up the forensic fieldwork side of our boot camp that we have every year.
Yes.
But they're going to be on stage along with two of our field investigators that are law enforcement. So that's Marianne Robb and Dave Rich. So all four of them on the stage, and it's going to be UFOs and law enforcement.
Okay, now is that open to the public? Can anybody just join by going to the Phoenix MUFON?
Our meetings are open to the public, and they can find out all details at phoenixmufon.com.
Okay.
But this lecture is really, it's going to go viral because there's so many law enforcement out there that have seen things and they've heard things and they've reported things in, but they can't do it publicly.
Right, right. And that's so true.
Yeah. And now they can.
Yes.
So we've got stories. I mean, it is just going to be a fantastic lecture, and I can see them hitting it big on the lecture circuit from this point on. So if anyone is in the area and able to attend on April 15th, it's going to be really a groundbreaking day.
Oh, wonderful. Well, thank you for sharing that, and make sure I get a link to that.
Okay.
You know, send it out, do a blast. And I would love to attend that. It sounds very interesting. You know, law enforcement has always been in my meetings, and there's always been people that would come when I was in St. Petersburg and a state director there, simply because they just didn't know what to do with it. They couldn't talk very much about it, really, within their, units, like the Tampa unit or the St. Pete unit or Clearwater unit of the law enforcement. They were discouraged to talk about it, but they could come to a MUFON meeting and share and talk about everything they'd seen, and it was really wonderful.
They do. I mean, I've got, out of our team of field investigators, I've got 7 law enforcement.
Oh, that's amazing.
And they might still be current working law enforcement or retired, but the guys that are retired, they really miss the work, and they realize that the protocols that MUFON puts out there for their certified field investigators are very close to the police work that they have done in the past. They miss it, they love it, they're really good at it. So we have this great team of field investigators that really know what they're doing already. And so this is just, it's going to be a great lecture. Just they can validate everything that they've been hearing for years and years and years now. Oh my goodness. Well, I do hope that does go viral, because, there are so many out there that need that. And like I said, I mean, the Florida people, there were several that were always coming, and then new ones would come. And I would hold meetings in 18 different places in Florida when I was there, which was quite a challenge. I know. I know, it was crazy. Well, I was just looking to create new chapters, and the only way to do that was to travel and make it happen. I had the time because I was retired, but well, I'm not there anymore. So, and and I'm not involved with Tennessee MUFON, even though I'm here in Tennessee. But we do have a few meetings here. And and I know law enforcement and EMT people and people from hospitals and different things. I mean, it's amazing, the professionals that come to MUFON.
It's not your little
is.
tin hat wearing weirdos that they used to
Right.
say.
It just legitimizes everything.
It does.
It really does. Yeah.
I know, it really does. So, but okay, I know you do have to go, and thank you so much for being with us. I'm really
Thank you.
grateful.
I had a great time chatting with you, and
Yeah.
hopefully we can do it again one day.
And share this on your page. Feel free to share United MUFON on your page and let people hear what you're doing. You know, I will definitely put it out there for everybody to know what's going on in Arizona.
Okay, thanks, Terry.
All righty. Have a good afternoon. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Well, thank you for being on our show today. And boy, that was so enjoyable. Stacey truly is a gem, and I really am grateful that she could make it. We'll be here next month with Jeremy Ray, and that will be March, I believe it was the 25th. And please join us then. We hope to see you in Cincinnati in August for the symposium. I really look forward to that. I'm definitely going to be there. I'll be one of the speakers, and I really think this next one will be amazing, really amazing, since we're right there where our headquarters is in Cincinnati. I hope everybody makes plans, and especially state directors, if you can get there. It's such a big help to have all the state directors together, because just like Stacey was sharing with how everybody gets together with all of their people at the boot camp, and you get all these wonderful relationships going. You know, some of my very best and closest friends are in ufology because it's their family to me, you know, and I mean that. They are family to me, and I support everything all of them are doing. And it's just such a wonderful group, and symposiums are like a family gathering to me anyway. So thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you next month on United MUFON. And please feel free to log on to terryling.com, my personal experiences and some of the different things I had with both ufology and other things are on terryling.com. So I hope you'll check that out. And also, if you haven't read my book on alien healing, it is available on Amazon. So please go there, and it's called Alien Healing. And never stop looking up. See you again.